Wrong thing. All right, guys, I think I'm live. So sorry about the issues before. Go ahead while I'm trying to open this stuff up and say hey in the chat so I can get it all set up for us. Hi, Tucker. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Maria. I'm glad you guys found it. I know some people are having trouble, and I'm having trouble with the computer right now. Hi, Nadia. Hi, Aiden. If you guys have heard from, hi, Nia, you made it. Good. Aiden, thank you so much for asking. I actually get to go to the doctor tomorrow, so hopefully it'll be better tomorrow, but it's been pretty terrible. That's good. I'm sitting up, so, I mean, that's something. If any of you guys have heard from people, I may have messaged you guys already, but if you know of people who aren't messaging me back, I just want to make sure everyone's okay and good and has what they need to have. So I haven't heard back from a few people. So just be checking messages and sending messages out to our group chat, or the group, sorry, not your all's group chat. I know at least 5-6 Bell has one. Hopefully 10th Bell does too. But let's get started, because you guys know we have 4 more weeks of this at least. I'm so excited. It's just wonderful. All right, I am going to go from my face to my screen. Get rid of that. I'll keep the comments up. All right, so I know this has gotten kind of confusing. So I want to do a recap from the beginning. If I may, stream goes in order. I tried to streamline it. So let's look. The first thing here was the visual. Nia, promise I had started an email. My computer shut down, so I will finish that email to you. But we still have that visual representation. I did put due dates. It's going to be due on Tuesday. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. But basically, you're taking standards 8.1 to 8.8, which you can find here. Well, all the notes are here. Here's the rubric for the visual representation, and all of the standards would be down here for Unit 8. So you guys can always go back through. Everything is in order. But the basic thing for the visual, you're going to pick one of those topics. You're going to visually represent it, and then there's 2 other parts. You're linking it to something else within it. Hi, Riley. You're also going to link it to a broader concept. So one of those overarching concepts in AP Environmental Science would be sustainability, population growth. You could tie it back to any and all pollution, really, because that is a big concept in there. You could tie it back in terms of human health. You could tie it back to biodiversity. I'm sure there's more. Those are just a few. Those would be the bigger themes. The smaller ones would be within that same concept and making those connections. And again, if you're struggling to put it outright in the visual itself or the model or whatever visual representation you want to do, you can handwrite those explanations in there. All right, next thing, I've had a lot of environmental solutions. Make sure if I give you feedback and you see that you don't have a grade in, you've given it back to me a second time, because there may have been changes that you needed to make with the environmental solutions. And again, those need to be due tomorrow at the end of the day, because I want to be able to go over them on Monday. The data analysis I've gotten a lot of, and I've been able to give feedback on. You will see both of those charts again on the test, which will be next week. Week 2, you guys had time off for spring break. Wonderful. This is this week. On Tuesday, we did the LD50 and talked about the experimental design. I've gotten some of those experimental designs as well, given feedback. They look very good. Again, that's a formative one. We will be doing a real one for a grade in Unit 9. I've gotten 1 pathogens. Way to go, Nadia. Great job. She's already turned in her pathogens for text analysis. That's great. I'll end up putting that in the slides here. That's going to be really important so that everybody has an idea about all those different pathogens. I'm not making you guys look up every single one, nor listen to a boring lecture on all of them. I hope that's a you're welcome, I think. Anyways, yes, Andrew, we will actually be having tests. So because we have the AP classroom, I can give them to you guys using the honor system and a time limit. So, you know, if you choose to look things up, that's on you. You only have 45 minutes to get them done. I think I made the FRQ will probably be 30 minutes, and the multiple choice will be, I'll probably give it 50 minutes. So we can keep that somewhat consistent. No, Riley, the article would not have to be recent because some of them are from like a while ago. So we don't have issues with some of those now. So yeah, absolutely, those can be older articles. Maria, that's a good question. I'll move up to that in just 1 second. I'm going to pull up I have no idea what just happened there. Okay, go back here. That was video lesson 1 that was covering stuff. You can always go back to that. Oh, I'm sorry. Those were my Loom lessons with more information on that first week. There was the Zoom where we talked about AP Environmental Science. Here is the YouTube channel for AP Environmental Science reviews. This should be the link to my YouTube channel. I'm probably not going to put the link up every single time. Come back here or subscribe to my YouTube channel, you guys. That was the information. Reminder, juniors on Monday you can get in to get your stuff, and sophomores are on Tuesday of next week. Maria, I promise I'm getting your question. All right, here's math. So I added this. This math, the best APES math review, the copy of APES math, and this copy of APES math as well. All of those are good review to do beforehand, okay? Hey, Noah, thanks for joining. So these would be to prepare you to do the math. This is the best we got. I don't know yet if math's going to be on the AP exam. Those of you that aren't taking the AP exam, then I think these math problems are still important for you in life in general and being able to articulate yourself mathematically. So really you can choose either. Some of you guys still hadn't done the first one. At this point, I don't care. I have 2. Pick one of them. You do not have to print that out, but you can just pull it up on your computer or your phone. You can write out your answers and then take a picture and send that to me. All right, do it of the first one. I'll get back to you and see if you need to do the second one. If we need to make a third one, I will. Okay. Please don't share answers with each other. I get it. It's tempting. You're going to take a picture of it anyways. But if I see the same wrong answer with the same exact work done on multiple people's, like, I can tell. So just be honest on those things, if you would. And then I put the due dates. So week 1, and this current week that we're talking about right now, due Friday, tomorrow, let's say midnight. I mean, listen, if you guys need a little bit more time for over the weekend, that's fine. But I need to be able to grade it for Monday at 1 p.m., which means like Sunday night at the latest, but just get it done tomorrow and then you don't have to do anything over the weekend. And please, those that just kind of came in later, talk to people in your class. I've got 5, 6 Bell kids in here, and I've got 10th Bell watching this right now. Please talk to your fellow classmates. There are some that I have not heard a thing from, and I'm a little concerned. I want to see their faces. I want to hear from them, and I want to know that they're doing okay. And then also I want everybody to make sure they get their CCP credit, their AP credit, and their credit for this class. And so in terms of it being a college class, we do have to still go over the entire curriculum. Okay. All right, let's move on to today's lesson. I will keep these up so I can see your questions. Just might take a second so that I can go to smaller screen. There we go. All right. This one's kind of short and something we've talked about. Nadia, no. The math is not due tomorrow. That was a really good question, and I apologize. The math is going to be fourth quarter, so take your time on the math. We've had the time. Take your time on the math. I will have to set a due date at some point in time. And if you want one, I'll give you one individually if that helps you. But I need it before the fourth quarter grades are due, really. The sooner you get it, the more chances you have, because I can grade it and give it back to you. So that's there. And you can always send me with the math, the practice stuff. Like, hey, am I doing this practicing correctly? And that's fine with me. You guys are going to get information, I hope, tomorrow. So be checking your email or listening to the voicemails that get left about what we're doing moving forward. There's going to be a schedule for when teachers have their office hours. I know science and math are Mondays and Thursdays from noon to 2 p.m. So part of the office hours will be me doing this live stream. I'm going to do them on Mondays and Thursdays during those times. I am happy you guys can message me at any point in time. And if I'm available, I will get back to you right away. If not, you'll have to wait to the next day. But I'll be trying to be flexible with you guys because you guys are learning new material. Okay, so contact me whenever you need to, and if I can get back with you, I will. All right, pollution and human health. So it's really hard to make these connections to the issues that are happening to people. And it's just because there's so many different pollutants out there, and a lot of them you can't see, right? So there's ozone all around us. We can't see it. Carbon monoxide is odorless and colorless. Can't see it. We know that we can see the haze, right? We can see particulate matter. But it's still difficult to make that relationship between the pollutant and the effect on a human being. It has to be in a very, very large scale, and even then it's difficult. So I know we weren't able to do this because we were in class and I have the DVD at school, but there is a water documentary, and it has the lawyer from Erin Brockovich, sorry, which I realize you guys haven't seen. But she talks, and she actually is a lawyer, and she goes around to different places to try and help them deal and advocate for them on their water problems and their water issues. And it's a challenge. And they have lots of people in their towns dying from cancer or other such issues. And it's very challenging for them to link it back to an organization, a company, a pollutant in their environment, but it absolutely is. So we have had some connections we can make. So there are multiple cancers that we've talked about that come from pollutants. Asbestos, we know, causes mesothelioma or mesothelioma. I don't remember how you guys liked to say it. But remember, asbestos was in the walls. It's like little shards of a mineral, and it gets into the lungs, and it kind of makes those cuts, which can cause the cells to be altered, their DNA, and they keep replicating out of control. Radon comes from the ground in basements, and we know that also can cause lung cancer. So it comes from the cracks in the foundation. It is a normal gas that is created underground when uranium decays. There are other outdoor pollutants also that can act as carcinogens. So diesel exhaust is different solvents, different metals, and dust particles all can cause lots of issues. This is just I don't know if you guys have heard the word dysentery before. It's not something that's commonly used in the United States or developed countries. In general, this is a third world country issue. It is it almost seems like a term that shouldn't be used anymore, because it's not something you guys personally have to deal with in your life. However, there are a lot of countries that don't have sanitation that do. So this becomes an infection in your intestines, and you get severe diarrhea and lots of not good stuff that you should not be having. And the problem is the access to clean running water and sanitation. Oh my gosh, yes, Aiden. Dysentery from the Oregon Trail. Yes, that's exactly where you guys would have heard that from. Good call. So the main thing with dysentery is when you have sewage, okay, or poop, right? It's going to come up, I think, every time, in your water system or something that you're drinking, and it causes severe intestinal issues and distress. We talked a lot about respiratory issues. Some examples are bronchitis, asthma, emphysema, COPD. We know that we have carbon monoxide, which has a higher affinity to your hemoglobin, so it binds there and your body cannot use that. Ozone also damages the lungs. Sulfur oxides, nitrous oxides, particulate matter, all of those things cause those respiratory issues that we talked about. And then for mental deficiencies, we know of lead. We also know we could include, I don't know why I didn't include in here, but mercury. Not so much the lowering the IQ like lead does, but mercury does get into your system and it starts to shut down your organs. And that really, guys, is the main part of the human health and the pollution. We can't link it back. The common things we look at are the cancers, dysentery, the mental deficiencies, and the respiratory problems. And so this is kind of a shorter standard, but yay for you guys for shorter standards. And the only other standard, sorry, let me switch this back to my face. The only other standard for this unit that we need to cover is pathogens. And that's what you guys are doing with that activity, or the text analysis, which is for a grade. So next week on Monday and Thursday, what I plan to do is a review. And so Monday, sorry, Ariana, that is such a kind question. He's great. I saw him today. He was on a meeting that we were in today and yesterday. So I think he's doing well. He's helping out with second, third bell things. So that's really good. That was so sweet. I'll tell him that you said so. The big thing, I'll map out the entire fourth quarter for you. And this is what I would have done regardless. You're going to have the seven scientific practices are going to be grades in there. Okay. There's going to be 2 FRQs. There's going to be 2 tests. Those are going to be your grades. All right. That's what we're doing. Pathogens, Nia, if you need a little bit longer, I would like them in, I really wanted them by tomorrow night. All right, see you, Tucker. Tell Mr. Zim I said hi. We have, by tomorrow night would be best. If you need till Sunday, that's fine, Nia. She asked when the pathogens are due. I'm going to keep chatting. You guys ask as many questions as you need, and I'm going to chat about next week. So Monday, I will do a review session live on here. So you guys can ask a lot of questions. And then what I might do is just post another video or have you guys watch the other videos instead of doing a second live on Thursday, because I'll have the test open on Thursday and Friday for you to take it anytime during those 2 days. All right. So I'll post the link again for the YouTube on Unit 8. They should all be up at that point from College Board. So that would be a good review. There weren't a ton of ed puzzles, so I wouldn't go there. Nadia, great question. Can we still retake things? You can hear Peyton. Yeah, is that the class? Okay. So back to Nadia's questions. Yes, you can retake things. You can retake any of the things that we're doing. I've already given feedback on things, and people are sending them back for regrade on the scientific practices. So absolutely, 100%. Obviously, it's easier if we don't have to do retakes on things, but yes, there will be retakes. Riley, what I plan to do next week, she asked when the tests and the FRQs are going to be. I'm going to open them up with a time limit on Thursday and Friday. So you're going to have I'll probably open it up as soon as I wake up, which is about 7 a.m. until Friday night, whatever. I'll shut it off at midnight, okay? So I will have that locked down and grade them over that weekend. And then you guys can kind of decide from there, and we'll start the next unit the following week. Yes, Nadia, I will post a study guide. If not tomorrow, I will post one on Monday. I'd like to post one tomorrow so that you guys can look through it over the weekend and ask me questions on Monday when I go live. Yes, Noah, you want to connect what you're talking about, what your concept is. And no, I think you're doing the algae growth, right? So you can talk about the algae growth in terms of an increase in human population and why it's happening, because we have a lot more people on the planet. That's always an easy one, talk about the planet, but you can talk about it in terms of sustainability too. Maria, that's a really good question. That's what they're talking about. That's all I've heard, is that the thought is that we might be doing pass-fail. That has not been confirmed yet, so I don't want to speak to it, but yes, I think that is a possibility to go pass-fail. Now, remember, those of you that are doing CCP, that's going to take into account the entire year, and so I'll have to get more guidance on that, but it would not necessarily be a pass-fail in terms of getting credit for the CCP. Okay, the test would be Unit 8, yes, Andrew. And I will post what the FRQ will be over also. And the FRQ is going to be done on AP College Board, so you're going to be typing it out. You are reviewing Monday, and I will post a video for the set. We're supposed to do 2 lessons a week, okay? So one will be me live on Monday. The second one is going to be me posting the videos from Unit 8 that AP College Board is doing. And that, I think, would be a really good review, but there's a lot of them because it's over every single standard. So I suggest doing the progress checks on AP Classroom and then going into the specific ones that you didn't understand that well. Yeah, Maria, that's a good question. I would say yes, especially for the kids in CCP retake. If it's pass-fail, yes. I don't know. Let's wait for more information on that. I'm sorry. I wish I had more. I don't have any information on that one. I'll wait around for a few more questions because I think I've said all I was going to say. Ooh, real quick, poll. Would you guys do Flipgrid if I did a Flipgrid? I wonder how long the delay is. Oh. Okay, I'm fine with going without it. Oh, hi, Blessing. Okay, so Flipgrid is basically like I can post a video of me. It's like short and ask you guys a question, and then you can always respond back to it. But I feel like let's not add an extra thing in. Our system is working so far. You guys are able to contact me and communicate with me. I might open up office hours so that you can review and ask me questions or ask, in real time. But I'm going to 86 Flipgrid. We're not going to do that. Any last questions? None? I think I might end my stream now. So look for the review tomorrow. Well, you basically have a whole, your lesson next week is to do the test, so you have all that time to review with me once live, and then another time on your own with any different resource that you want. But yes, I will make sure I create a review for you guys tomorrow. All right.